Alrighty, boys, and we're back. Listen, we're farming. Listen, we're just farming at this point. We got a nice, juicy thread once again. You guys enjoy this. It's a little bit controversial. We got some people who don't agree with me, and that's fine. Hey, voice your opinions. It's completely fine. You know what I mean? Just don't get too, too rowdy. Let's keep it a little bit respectful here. But listen, we got another one. It's called When is Tailwords Actually Going to Add a Major Feature? Dun dun dun. This has to do obviously with the whole notion that they have not added any major features since the beginning of the game. And this is one of those talking points that is used on the thread a lot. This kind of coincides with obviously the people who say, oh, they have no major features, they only do the sheep model. You know, that type of talk. But before I start, like always, I just want to say this is not geared towards anybody. This is not like in any way trying to like jump on someone's opinion and stuff like that. This is my response to another person's response on the forums, and that's pretty much all it is. I give my insights, I give any information I can, and that's pretty much what this video is going to be. So don't get too upset, and yeah, let's do it. Alrighty, so he starts off by saying, so it has been over a year in EA since Tailwords began their tinkering with this game, which has mainly consisted of fixes for bugs introduced in various minor adjustments. I disagree. I think, personally, there was major fixes for a lot of bugs. Yes, I understand a big bug that people keep mentioning is the siege bug. It has gotten some improvements, but I do understand that it is still broken in a lot of aspects. And I have talked about it previously, where the devs have pretty much came out and said that, hey, this is going to take a long time to fix. We're probably going to fix it towards the end of EA, something around that measure, but we're not going to do it right now. That's what they said. So I just took it from their word and I said, okay, I understand people are upset by that. Some people want it fixed sooner. But then again, a lot of people also want consistent patches. So it's like a rock and a hard place situation. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I get that people are frustrated with that. But in terms of bug fixes and let's say performance and stuff, I think they've made very, very, very good progress. Performance-wise, sensational. Sensational. If you played when the game first came out until now, it's sensational. It's night and day. It is literally night and day. Performance is good. Obviously, some different graphics cards, some different computer setups that people have. Sometimes certain patches don't work the best way that they can. It does happen, and there is various fixes that either a hot fix or the next patch starts working better again. I get that is still a problem, but I think for the majority of players, I think I can confidently say that if you played since the beginning, the performance has gotten a lot better. And in terms of bugs and stuff like that, that has also gotten a lot better. And then also the various minor adjustments, I don't think so. I think the reason people do say this is because obviously we haven't received some of those key features that Warband has that Bannerlord should really have as well. You know what I mean? I do agree with that. I think there are, obviously they didn't want to make this Warband 2, but I still think some features that are in Warband do fit really good into Bannerlord as well, and I think they should be in there as well. Feast being one of them, I think that is huge. Like I always state pretty much in every video now, I think Feast should definitely be added in there. Maybe like a marriage scene, just more stuff to make it feel more alive, right? I think those should definitely be added. Will they be added? I have no clue. I'm not part of the dev team or anything like that. I think they will. I think that's one thing that they are probably going to add towards the end. But yeah, I think it's all opinion based in terms of like what you consider minor and major. I consider prison breaks kind of major. It's a big mechanic. I consider Rebellions a pretty big mechanic. You know what I mean? All those new town scenes and stuff, pretty big. I think the way that they changed the skill trees from just having a lot of the skill trees were just one perk lineup. So as soon as you reach a specific level, you don't really have a choice, and also the perks don't have two different effects. I think that's huge. I like how the fact that they changed it and made it more dynamic. I think that's a pretty big change as well. There's a lot of stuff that you can say is a big change, but again, that's just how you perceive it. You know what I mean? Different people have different opinions of what they consider major and minor. But let's see what he keeps saying. He says, "What workshops are more profitable this go round?" Lol. I think okay. So I get what he's saying. There has been in the previous what do you call it? I guess previous months. No, it's kind of like throughout the year. Different workshops were fixed, and other ones became kind of overpowered. It happened. It was fixed. I think now we're in a situation where most workshops make kind of around the same thing, and it's I think it's fine. There's no huge bug in workshops now. They're all pretty similar in my opinion. And then he goes, seriously, there are dozens of mods with better content than this team has managed to put out in over a year. Okay, what I gotta say to that? Like again, I get where that's coming from, but how can I say this the best way I possibly can? It's like people say this about a lot of games where like obviously like, oh, the mod team made this game so much better, this and that and this that and the fourth, right? But I feel like for there to be really really good mods, there has to be a base gameplay that is enjoyable. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe I'm not like it's kind of late. It's literally like 5 a.m. here, so my brain isn't fully working. But what I'm trying to say is, for those mods to be great and for you to enjoy those mods, you still have a lot of aspects of the game that is in the original vanilla that coincide with those mods to make the mods great, if that kind of makes sense, right? And I do agree, mods definitely make a game better. That's kind of the reason why they were, you know what I mean? That's what kind of the reason why there's such a huge thing for PC gaming is they make it better. That doesn't mean that every single mod should be in the game as well, if that kind of makes sense, right? Because the mod loadout that you have might not be the mod loadout that other people might want to have. And some people might want to just play vanilla, you know what I mean? Again, this is all opinion-based, in my opinion. Like it's just, And, and also, there's so much more modders out there than actually like team members. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just, I don't think it's a great comparison. And he says, want to stash items in your castle? Here's another menu page. Some of the laziest, ham-fisted boop I have ever seen in gaming. Really? Bro, come on. Stop being so dramatic. Listen, there's been so much worse examples of developers just not caring, not trying to fix a game. There's so many dead games out there that used to be kind of popular because, you know what I mean? Oh, they popped up on Twitch for a couple days, you know what I'm saying? And then they just completely died. Like, nobody plays them nowadays. I guess people can say that for Bannerlord as well. But Bannerlord literally has kind of like a rising player base right now, about 20k daily. Which might not seem like a lot to people, but it's a very good amount. And that's only for Steam, so you still have the Epic Game Store and all the other places you can get it from. But that being said, it's on the rise of people playing, and it's constant per day. And a lot of these other games, I don't want to name names, but there was one that came out this year. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm trying to say is it's not the worst you've ever seen. I don't even think it's bad. Like, I think it's good. Yes, there were some shortcomings, and I'm upset by them. I've voiced my frustration about them. But then again, I'm not going to go into like this dramatic phase where I'm just like, oh, this is the laziest, this is the worst. It's like, bro, what do you want? We're getting constant updates. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you hear some bad news. Oh, this didn't happen. Oh, that didn't happen. But like you just said, there's dozens of mods out there that make it so much better. So what's the real problem? Like, look, if the mod community and the game developers can work together and create a good experience, and you like the mods that are fused with the game, then what's the problem here? Why? Because it didn't come exactly from the developers, so somehow we have to put it onto the developers because they didn't put that mod into their game. Like, bro, if you're getting the end product in the end that you like, does it matter? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. Look, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird stigma. Like, it's just like, oh, well, the modders are doing a lot better job than developers. It's like, yeah, but they're building off something. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a little bit different. It's like, and they also have a lot more freedom. They don't really have like a higher up kind of saying what's to do. You know what I mean? Their goals a little bit different. It's so much different things. You know, that like between being a modder and an actual developer for a company that has like set goals and stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a little bit different. But yeah, and then see he names like some like random stuff. We got like want to stash items in your castle. Maybe you do. Like, what's the problem with that? Yes, it was a little minor change. That doesn't mean like, okay, this is another thing that bothers me. Whenever we get patch notes, right? People will skip over the major and like the features that are supposed to be looked at, right? And they will literally go into like the miscellaneous, the ones that are kind of like, meant to be read once and then kind of like not forgotten, but kind of just, like those minor changes. They're like, okay, cool change. You know what I mean? Why not? Those changes, literally, people on the forums will highlight those, save them somewhere, and literally just point them out and post like this. It's so weird. Why not point out the other changes? Why not point out the big change? Why not point out the changes that like gets the? It's just why. Why do we do this thing where we stick to like these little things and then just like be like, oh, you see, this is all they've actually done. Like, no, bro, you're just taking it out of context in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of it's weird. I don't know. But all right. We have a response saying exactly what counts as major feature is subjective. Exactly. Opinionated, subjective, whatever word you want to use. It depends. It's like, you know what I mean? Some might consider rebellion to be a major feature, some might not. True. What would you count as a major feature? All right, let's see what he responds. Oh, we got some. Oh. Here we go. Let's see what he says is a major feature. So he goes, go look at the top mods for the game for starters, like Succession, custom troops, secession. I don't know how to say this word. Listen, I don't want to hear. All right, custom troops or diplomacy options. I would consider something like Feast a major addition instead of one new helmet, 30 crash fixes, and a few scenes, which look great, but there's nothing to do in them. I had to give it emphasis because he did. They could add 1,000 scenes and it would not make no difference. Okay, I'm guessing he's talking about the newest patch, right? 1.5.10. So let me see if I can pull 1.5.10 out. And we are literally going to go over... hold on. Let me see if I could just pull it out right over here. We're going to go over... because, see, he did the exact same thing that he did up here, right? Where he just listed kind of like the minor stuff. You know what I mean? Like the new helmets that we got... The 30 crash fixes. Here it is, right over here. Alrighty. So here's how we started. So obviously we have the crash fixes. This is one thing he pointed out. Okay, we get those in every patch. I think these are great, regardless if you think they're minor. It's good to fix crashes. Crashes are bad, you know what I mean? And if you fix them, it's good. You know what I mean? So he mentioned that. Cool. What else did he mention? The new helmets, which are... right over here. He even mentioned all of them. We got 5 actually new armors, bro. Come on, bro. Get it right, bro. Come on now. 5's better than 1. I'm just kidding. But we got the 5 over here, and we got the village scenes and the town scenes, which I think is a lot of scenes. But that's all he mentioned. Literally, the single player crashes and the art. Now, if we keep scrolling... why was there no mention of anything else in this whole, what's it called? What would you call this? Patch notes. Why was there not a mention of anything else? Why not a mention of how this was updated? The Kingdom Wars tab, I think it looks a lot better. There's so much more stuff that you can read about it. Why was this not mentioned at all? I think this is pretty big. Why not? Why not the changes to difficulty? This is also pretty big for you to actually choose these options. That's pretty big. You can make persuasion, but like these are pretty big. Yes, they're kind of simple changes in a way, but they're still pretty big. What else do we have? We got bugs. What else we got? What else we got? Isn't this the one where we got the changes to how oh yeah, when you're joining a kingdom as a vassal, you get special equipment and elite troops. I think that's pretty good. the choice to abdicate now, and you can actually stay inside that same kingdom and kind of, you know, take a step back. That's pretty good. Why was it not mentioned? What else do we got? Where is it? Where is it? This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the patch where we got, not commands, what's it called? Let's do defensive. Oh, there it is. So clan parties cannot be assigned to a general stance: defensive, neutral, aggressive. I think that's pretty big. I think that's a pretty big change. You can give commands now. Yes, they're not like the pinpoint commands that we wanted, but I still think this is good. Why was this not included? Wage limiters. Why was this not included? You know, the auto 1 per day recruit. That's pretty big. Again, simple change, but pretty big. Why was it not included? Why was the only thing that was included was the crash fix, the helmets, and the this? You know what I'm trying to say? It's just picking and choosing, bro. It's picking and choosing just to prove a point, and it's not taking the full context into perspective. It's kind of weird. Then he goes, there's very little to do in this game. The town upgrades are boring and bland. Castles are not worth owning. There's no reason for the player to enter the throne room. This one, castles are not worth owning. They are worth owning. They provide, I've already went over this in a different video, but basically they provide stronger troops now. They also provide you better villages and what's it called? And they're a more strategic point to hold because castles get taken before towns. So there you go. That's kind of like the basics. There's a lot more that goes into it. I have videos talking about it. You can probably search up castle or something like that on my channel, and you can actually find the video where I go over all the things that are currently in the game for castles. There is quite a bit, and they are adding more as well. What else? Town upgrades are boring and bland. I kind of agree. I think that the town upgrade system is it ain't fully there. I like the fact that rebellions can knock down some of the upgrades. I just wish it was a more dynamic system. I do agree here. It could be worked on. And there's no reason for the player to enter the throne room. I also agree. Well, I guess you could play a board game. I did that. I guess you could do that. But yeah, it's kind of there's not a real reason to go there. I agree. Completely pointless. I don't think it's completely pointless. I think it's still pretty cool to just walk through it, like, you know, for the 1 time or the 2 times just to see how it looks. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. They've done nothing to remedy this in over a year. Well, yeah, but you just mentioned like 3 things, and also that's not true. They have made changes to the town upgrades. They have changed the fact that you can get them bumped down by rebellions. Those might not be the changes you're looking for, but they have done something. The whole they have done nothing, that's also not true. The fact that castles, we had a lot of changes to castles, and we still are currently having changes to castle. That's also not true. You know what I mean? I guess the only true thing is maybe, you know, the player entering the throne room, but I also think that might not be true in a way, but I don't got too much of a strong argument. I'm not going to stand on any hill for this, but yeah, like, that's not true, bro. It just isn't. And then he goes, I invite people to look at any of the top warband mods on Steam. This game has major lack of content. Well, duh. Warband's been out for years, bro. Literally years. How do you compare a game that is still not even fully released to a game that's been fully released for years and has had so much time to get all these mods? And why are we comparing a game that's been out for years? Why are we comparing that game's mods to a base game? You know what I'm trying to say? That's not even released yet. What kind of comparison is this? Bro, nah. Yeah, bro, nah. Nah. This comparison is bro, that's not a comparison at all. I'm sorry. No, that's not at all. That ain't it. Back to the stash menu page. Okay. When you give a player another menu page instead of a chest to store items, it gives the player no connection to his castle or town throne room. Bro, I know you're not stuck on this stash menu page this hard, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not okay. I don't mean to be that guy. Again, this might be opinion based. This is definitely opinion based. But you started off talking about major features, and you know what I mean. Why are we talking about the stash menu page? Why is that what the conversation's on? If we were talking about like major features and stuff like that, do you know what I'm trying to say? And like, we still didn't get any answer for what a major feature is, except from I guess warband mods, which is kind of like that's a whole different game, bro. Like, what kind of big features do you want? You know what I'm trying to say? Adds up enough little things like this and have a very bland game. Besides fighting battles, there is zero to do. Viking Conquest is so much better in this regard. Why is that? Someone explain why Viking Conquest is a better game. If Bannerlord had not been working on for 8 years, I probably would not say much, but God, this game frustrates me to no end. Look. Why is it a better game? If I'm not mistaken, no, hit me if I'm not mistaken. Was it Viking Conquest or was it the other DLC where like it took inspiration from a mod? If I'm not mistaken, and then it got turned into some DLC. Which one was that? Maybe I have this completely messed up. This is I'm just going off straight memory, but it's very foggy memory. But why is it better? Again, it's been out for so many more years. You know what I'm saying? It's been like, and it's fully released. This game's not even fully released yet. And then my last point before I end this video is, if this frustrates you to no end, why are you on the forums talking about it, bro? You ever thought about that? Why? If something frustrates me to no end, I get up and I go. That's it. Unless I want to work to make it better. But to work and make it better, you need to have the right attitude for it. You need to take the right steps for it. And if that means you need to communicate with somebody else, you need to do it in a respectful manner. You know what I mean? While this wasn't as bad as I've seen the other stuff that people have said on the forums, the fact that you're taking stuff out of context in a way, and you're taking only small little features and being like, see, this is all they did. It's kind of demeaning in a way. It's kind of like, oh, all the stuff that you guys did, I don't see it. All I see is this. Why is this all you did? And it's kind of just, that ain't the way to go about it. So, bro, look, if you're stressing so hard about this, just like I said, you can put the game down, you can chill out, do something else. Or if you really want to, uplift the community and make it into a better thing, be positive. Be positive, and don't. I'm not gonna say you're lying. I'm just gonna say just don't beat around the truth. You know what I mean? Don't do that. It's kind of weird. But I think that's gonna do it for me. I got into a lot of talks right there. What else do we got? I'm trying to read if there's anything else really worth talking about. Oh my god, this take is so bad, bro. Oh my. He goes, same. I also hate modding games in general. It promotes laziness in the company, makes the player base always expect stuff from mods. The game should be complete in itself, nothing to add, nothing to remove. Why would you want to live in a world like that, bro? What? It's like saying, bro, you want to live in a world where there's no toppings, bro. You just get food how it is, bro. There's no toppings on the food, bro. You want some ketchup on that? Forget that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It should have been built into that burger. When it was cooked, there should have been ketchup put into the burger. Don't put it on top. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, forget it. Okay, that's probably a bad analogy. But what I'm trying to say is, why would you want to live it? Why? Why is that such a problem? Mods are great. What do you mean? Mods are great. And like, we can live in a world where we appreciate the game and we appreciate the mods. We don't have to take like this stance where we're like, oh, well, since I like this, I'm against the other. Bro, they work great together, bro. There's no need for this, like, this, like, I don't know, like, I guess, war between, oh, well, mods and the game. It's just like, bro, what? And this whole promotes laziness in the company. Bro, no. Also, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a game, look, for a game's mods to be great, like, how can I say this? What's the best way to say this? For people to really enjoy the mods in the game and to kind of, how can I say this? Well, there's also been examples of where the opposites happened. What I'm trying to say is, in most examples, because there are some dead games that got revived by mods. You know what I mean? There are some games like that that did get revived by mods. But what I'm saying is, mods add on to the already enjoyment a person is having in a game. They just add that extra oomph. You know what I mean? And sometimes yes, they overhaul as well, and that's also great. But it adds to the game. You know what I mean? So it's like how can I say this? If the company is super lazy, okay, so what I'm trying to say, if the company is super lazy and they make a very, very lazy game, there's not going to be too much, player base sticking around, to expect it from the mods because they won't even want to play the base game at all. But most of the time, the people who like and enjoy the mods of a game have played the base game and said, hey, this is really good. It just needs that extra, you know what I mean? Extra push. Then they find the mod and they're like, boom, this is that extra push. And now I can enjoy the game fully with this extra push. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I hope that kind of makes sense. That's where I'm going to end it off. Video's getting kind of long. Listen, stay positive. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. Listen, stay safe, boys.